Don't check your phone. You didn't get a text. Leave it alone. You'll just be upset. What you gonna do? There's no news, no sex, no text.
So how's it going?
Not too bad. I've been sitting here for the last week anticipating the story you have for us.
I almost forgot about that one, dude. I haven't even been thinking about it, to be honest with you. I'm trying to block it from my mind and pretend it never happened.
It's right here at the top of the notes.
Top of your notes. Oh, Lord.
So
all
here,
right.
I'll do this real quick.
What you got?
I am drinking a Second Shift Brewing Retro Brew. You'll appreciate this.
Oh, yeah. I thought I saw something like that at the store. Did you get that from? Wait, did you get it from Schnucks by chance?
No, I got this over at Dogwood Liquors over by me. I just bought a single can because I got it last year when they released it.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. I like that. That's really, really cool.
Yeah.
So what is it? What type of beer is it?
It's an American Pale Ale. It's made with Series 6. I don't know what that is. 6% ABV, and the label is designed like the retro blues uniforms from the 90s.
Yeah, no, it looks really cool. So, yeah, like that's a can keeper. That should go in your collect. Like you have a certain thing where you keep a few cans, and I think that's one you should get for keeping the can.
I think I'll probably actually keep this one and get rid of the old one because it was a smaller can. This one looks a little nicer.
Yeah. So awesome, good times. Yeah, I'm not drinking anything tonight. Just not. So, but yeah, okay. So we'll go back. The week before, basically, my youngest's birthday. Her birthday is the week before Halloween, just about. And so for each kid, we're not really big on birthday parties. Like with their classmates or their friend, doing a big blowout party. But we did give each kid one big party, and they got to choose kind of when they wanted to do it. Just so that they can't come back to us when they're adults and go, "You didn't give us a birthday party. I hate you. You damaged me for life." Something like that. So we did one this year for her, and we took her to Kokomo Joe's, which is basically the little kid version of Dave and Buster's, like a kid arcade, And it was all her classmates from school, and it's just, Jay, you wouldn't believe how much these things cost to do stuff like this. It's just unbelievable.
I know.
It's a racket. It's a freaking racket, and it drives me nuts. It's for little kids, but whatever. Yeah. So we offered to say, hey, if any parent needs help, getting kids to the party, we're happy to help because we're going anyway. So if you guys have other kids that have sports or other obligations, whatever, but if your kid still wants to join, we're happy to take them. And one parent took us up on that. He's one of her really good friends from class, and he was on her basketball team 2 seasons ago because they did kindergarten where it was co-ed. Yeah. So they've all been together. So I know this kid well because I helped coach the team, and he's a good kid. But we're driving to the thing, and out of nowhere, it's kind of just a quiet. They're just kind of talking about nothing, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he just goes, "I know all the curse words." I'm like, "Okay." He goes, "Yeah, my cousins told me every single one of them, even the worst ones." I was like, "Okay, not something we need to do today," And so, let's try to change the subject and get him talking about other stuff, and we move on with our time there. And they go do their party. They do different activities. And then we're in this party room, and they're eating pizza for lunch and drinking, soda, whatever, go with it. And they're all just having a good time. They're talking about a video game. And then they start breaking down into smaller groups where there's one-on-one conversations, and some boys are talking to some boys, some girls talking to girls. And then the parents are kind of just sitting around on the outside, the perimeter of the room, just watching the kids. Kind of just waiting for this party to dwindle down because it's getting towards the end of it. And the same kid tells, I guess I need to give context. This is a small white boy, and he looks down to 2 of the black kids that are sitting next to him, and he goes, "I want to call you guys the N-word." And it was loud enough in the room where if you weren't kind of paying attention to their conversation, you might have missed it.
Yeah.
But I saw it, and two other parents did. And the two other parents they have twins in the class, so they have a boy and a girl there at the party. And we both kind of just scrunch our eyes a little bit and look at each other going, did we hear that? Maybe we misheard. Maybe that wasn't what it was. But lo and behold, the two black boys go, well, what's the N word? And then I go, oh my God. And then he goes, well, it's kind of like, it ends with "ger." And I'm like, that's enough. You need to stop immediately. And I've turned pale. I turned pale because it's half of her class it's mixed. It's white and black down the middle. It's 50-50 pretty much.
Yeah.
And I go, this is ridiculous. And I go, you do not ever say that word ever. Like, I'm berating the child. His parents aren't there at the party.
Right.
Because they're with their other kids with sports stuff going on. And I kind of, go just give them the talking to in front of the other kids. So it kind of puts a dour mood on the party there because I had to yell at a kid, basically, in front of everybody else. But basically, I didn't know what else to do to just stop it, like, immediately from happening.
Yeah.
and then they go back about their business. It's like, okay. And I'm like, okay, guys, the parties, eat your stuff. We want some cupcakes, something like that. But then one of the other kids all of a sudden goes, why did you get yelled at? Because then the kid goes, because I want to call these guys the N-word. And I'm like, oh my God. So I had to pull this kid out of the room and go, what are you doing? And he goes, what? And I go, you can't say that. That's like that's the worst. There's no other word that you can say that's worse than what you're trying to say in front of all these children. Where did you learn this? Well, I learned it from my cousins. And I was like, oh my God. So I'm just embarrassed, because luckily it was not my child. I guess the best thing I can say something from this. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, at the same time, though, you can beat your own child.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And his parents weren't there. And so this was more towards the morning, afternoon. And later that afternoon, we had our parish. It wasn't a parish. I'm sorry. It's parish/school fall festival.
Yeah.
And so it's basically kind of a carnival without rides up at the school site. And the parents there were meeting me there because we were all going there afterwards anyway, because we all had volunteer shifts and we were going to go enjoy the day anyway there after the party. And so I have to go find this kid's mom because, I asked it was, again, like I said, it's there's two other parents that saw me and were part of were witness to this. So at least I have that. I have a witness going, I'm not making this up.
Yeah.
they were there and heard this because the other parents weren't kind of paying attention to it. And Jen was actually out of the room, didn't really understand what was going on. She's like, what's going on? I was like, this is not good. This is bad.
Yeah.
And so I take the two parents aside and I go, I have to tell his parents, right? I can't just not tell them that this didn't I can't just let this go under the rug, right? And she goes, oh no, you have to tell them. Because otherwise he doesn't know what he's doing.
And then he gets beat up in a few years.
So I go find, and she was working a shift at one of the rides, and I'm like, hey, when you're done, I need to have a conversation with you. She's like, huh? I was like, well, something happened. She's, oh God, okay, yeah, I'll come find you afterwards. And so she gets done with her shift, but I'm working my shift.
Yeah.
And she comes up and she goes, let me guess, it had to do with saying a bad word. And I was like, yeah. She goes, yeah, we've been having a problem with that. Did he say a curse word? And I was like, no, he was about to say the worst words that you can say to black people ever.
Yeah.
And she goes, she goes pale white.
Yeah.
Pale. And it's funny or not funny, the two parents I was talking about, they're over in the distance watching me have to go through this conversation just from the outside.
Yeah.
And I'm having to break down what happened. I'm trying to go, I don't think he even understands what it means. He says he learned it from his older cousin. She goes, oh my God, yeah, we've been dealing with this. This is like a thing going on right now. He's saying all these curse words because he's trying to be cool like his older cousins. And I just like, well, you might want to let your cousin's parents know that they're teaching your son the worst of the worst. And she's just like, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Yes, we will talk with him. And I was like, I don't want this to change your opinion. Like, we don't think he's a bad kid. We just think he was trying to show off and, be the oldest kid in the room. And I just think, I felt like I had to tell you that it would be like, as one parent to another, I'd want someone to tell me if my kid were doing something likewise. And so she just goes off, I'm sure, to find him and beat him to death.
We saw him the next day with a black eye.
Well, and she finds her kid and she goes, "Hey, I'm about to go talk to Emily's dad. Are you sure there's nothing you want to tell me? Because he's going to tell me one way or the other." And he's like, "I don't know what he's talking about." I was like, "Oh, God." Oh. So, of course, but any kid, self-preservation. Oh, yeah. From getting a beating of some kind. And, and so she goes off, I'm sure, to go do some parenting of her own. And then the mom, the couple I was talking to you about, she comes over. She goes, "So how did it go?" I was like, this was one of the most, I just never want to have to go through this ever again. That was the most awkward parent-to-parent conversation I've ever had to have in my entire life.
Oh, yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, yeah, I would never want to be you, ever." Like, thanks.
You haven't even heard about the car problems.
Oh, my God, dude. So, yeah. So, that, Jay, right there is why we don't do birthday parties for the kid. No, yeah. There's other reasons why we normally don't. We try to keep it a smaller affair. But, yeah. It was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare. I just go... That happened at her, and I'm like, this is her special day. I don't want something to ruin it. And it's just a bad vibe. And it's just, it just shows you how awful children are. Yeah. Or can be. The freaking animals, dude.
Yeah, it goes a little bit, too, to the innocence of them, because once they understand, he probably won't ever say that again. Hopefully he learned from this situation.
I really hope not. But it's just unbelievable. I just like, what? So, had you been the parent where you had to deal with something like that, how would you have addressed it? What would you have done? That's why I thought it'd be funny for you to take that to, do a parental exercise with you and Aaron, just to go, all right, let's put myself in his shoes. What do we do in this situation? What would you do?
I probably would have done the same thing. I mean, what else? There's not much you can do. I mean, if you ignore it, it'll be a bigger issue later on. Yeah.
So,
ooh,
yeah, that was a nightmare, sir. It was a nightmare.
Yeah, I can imagine.
All I can do now is just laugh about it. Just go, it's never going to happen again. We're never doing this ever again. Yep. It's over. It's past. I can just move on with my life.
Was it Lisa?
The problem is, Jay, now it's awkward. Every time I see these parents, I'm like, oh, your kid's the one that's the bigot. What's up?
Yeah. Like father, like son. No, was it the Kokomo?
And that's the funny thing. They're nice people. They're super nice. And it's just their kid's not making good choices, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. I feel bad for them. It's who wants to deal with that crap.
Well, so it reminds me of a story with Madeline. When she was in kindergarten, she was on the bus and wanted to sit by herself. And a kid came to sit in the seat and wouldn't leave. And so Madeline just looks at her and goes, "I will cut you up into little pieces and flush you down the toilet if you don't move."
Oh, God.
And the kid got up and moved and didn't say anything. But the kid's older.
Where was this? Was this like at school or on the? I couldn't hear you.
On the school bus.
Or on the bus?
Yeah, on the bus.
I was on the school bus.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So we get a call the next day from the school about it. The kid that she said it to didn't care. Okay. It was the kid's older sibling that worried about it, that overheard.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're like, we get you want to sit by yourself, but you can't threaten to kill somebody.
Oh my God.
So,
what do you do? These are those things that you go, this is not kids say the darndest thing. These are, why did I procreate? Oh my God. Yeah.
So like I was at work when we got the call. And I don't know if
those are the worst when you get a call at work. Oh, I hate it.
I think I went pale white when the school called, and I was working with, you remember Danetta?
Yeah.
She was my boss at the time, and she just kind of heard me gasp. And after the guy hung up, she's like, "What happened?" And I told her, And she just started cracking up. I'm like, this isn't funny. Right? This isn't funny. No. Now we laugh about it, but...
Well, the only reason why you do that is because it's socially awkward, or you're just like, you're so grateful. Thank God it's not my kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like oh, God.
So, yeah, we laugh about it now.
Oh, yeah, right. Remember when you were in kindergarten, you threatened to kill someone?
You weren't just going to kill him. You were going to flush him down the toilet, too.
Oh, my God. I'm going to cut you into pieces and flush it down the toilet. Wow. She just did not want someone sitting next to her.
No.
Interesting.
She didn't realize the work she was going to have to do that, though. So that might have changed things.
Oh, man. She wasn't committed.
No.
So, all right. So you want to hear about the car problem?
Oh, so there is a car problem this week. Let's hear it.
Oh. Same problem. But this was my first step along a journey of trying to figure out if this fixes it or not. How about that?
Okay.
Because with the Jeep, I talked about the death wobble where it would shake violently.
Yeah.
But we fixed that part. But then when I would drive it to test to see if we fixed that, I would drive it, and then all of a sudden the engine would just die. The car would just die for no reason. And I go, you got to be kidding me. What is going on? And so... it could have been more. And remember, that's the same thing where the battery died. So, right. We fixed the battery. Well, now it's not the battery; it's something else. So, my brother-in-law's like, "Well, go ahead and change the fuel filter." I think it's the fact that it's the engine's gas hungry. The filter might be clogged, so change out the filter. And I because again, this was Jen's mom's car, and I asked her dad. I go, "Hey, when's the last time you changed the fuel filter?" He goes, "Never. It's 19." I was like, "This car's in 1995. You've never changed the fuel filter?" He goes, "No." He goes, "Who does that?" And I go, "Well, apparently I'm doing it because we're going to see if it fixes the freaking car." So luckily, it's pretty accessible, but the bolt is so rusted on there. It's held by a clamp, and it's just two pieces of metal that go around the filter. It has two tubes that go into it because it's just the fuel pump pushes the fuel through the filter towards the engine to combust. And I'm under there with my ratchet. I put some PB blaster on it to try to get some penetrating oil to loosen up the bolt because it's just so old.
Yeah. And
so rusted just from years of being underneath the car. And I go, all right, time to get ignorant. So I put on an extension to it, just give myself more leverage. And I go, here we go. And I go, poof, snap the head of the bolt off.
Of course.
Just snap it. I'm like, this thing's done. But okay, snap the bolt off, but at least the clamp comes down. But here's the problem. The bolt is still stuck in the other one. It's stuck in the other piece of metal. Because I can't get it out. It's stuck.
Oh.
And I'm just like, okay, whatever. We'll get past that. So I put the new filter on. I go, okay. I had to somehow keep these pieces of metal together to hold the filter. So I go, we're gonna go jerry rig style. I go just get a zip tie.
Yeah.
Or zip tie that bad boy on. Take it for a spin. Did not drive far enough to really test it well to go, did it really fix the problem?
Yeah.
But I went back under there to make sure that zip tie held, and it held, baby. That zip tie held on tight.
Might as well just throw some duct tape around it too.
I could do that too. I could. I really could. Because I don't think it's going to get heated up or anything like that. So I don't think heat would be an issue. It just might wear off with some wet, as far as when wet.
Yeah.
The water comes up and gets on. It gets all gross. But and then of course when you're working with I get some fuel. I'm like, it's so rusty under there, and I forgot to put eyewear on. I'm getting like crust like in my eyeballs and stuff's falling down on me and stuff like that. And then I go, okay, I got to put that on. Remember to do that, and as soon as I do that and I get these tubes off, all of a sudden some fuel comes and drops down on me, and I'm just like, oh god.
At least your mouth wasn't open.
No matter how much you wash your hands or put anything on there to get that smell off, it's just like I still smell like if you put a match on me, I'll burst into flames.
Yeah,
get rid of that smell. But maybe I fixed it. Maybe it's fixed. And I go, okay, Brody. I showed him a car. I was like, look at some cars tonight. He goes, you see how much they cost? I go, how much you got saved up? He was like, not anywhere near that. I was like, looks like you're going to be driving a Jeep. He's like, that thing's going to kill me.
We'll pick you up on the way to school if it breaks down.
That's what I'm saying. We'll go pick you up. Don't worry, man.
Just hope you get close enough you can walk there and we can do something with the car while you're at school.
I know, right? Always an adventure, Jay.
Yeah.
Never a dull moment, man.
Yep.
I thought you like, I gotta give him one story. Gotta give him at least one per week.
I didn't have anything this week, so I intentionally broke the car.
No. No way, man. No way. One time I'm going to be getting on this podcast with you, and I'm not going to be able to give you a story. You're like, I'm disappointed.
Yeah. I will come over and cut your brake line.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see if it's fixed.
Yeah.
So there we go. That's my two stories to give you for getting you caught up in my life, I guess.
Right. Man, I feel boring.
Oh, well, hold on. I forgot. How was Halloween?
Oh, it was good. Will wanted to go with us, but he had a friend come over. Erin hadn't been feeling well, so she didn't end up going, so I walked with him. And let's see. His friend went as one of those inflatable T-Rex costumes, and halfway through, his battery died.
Rookie mistake. You gotta have extra batteries. Because Brody, he did that. He did the T-Rex thing 1 year too. So.
Yeah. Well, he told his grandma on the way over he didn't think the batteries would last, and she's like, "Oh, it'll be fine." Nope.
What do you have to do? Drag that thing around the whole time, or did you take it off?
He took the headpiece off, and the rest of it just dragged behind him.
Oh, poor kid. That's what sucks about those. They look cool and they're funny, and the kids love them, but those batteries, man, I'm telling you, it just runs a long time. They drain them pretty quick. So yeah, we walked a ton, and by the end of it, like, I'm limping from the bone spur in my heel. And Will's like, "I'm ready to keep going." I'm like, "I'm ready to go home." And then his friend said, "Well, I think I'm done too." I'm like, "Thank you." Thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
So yeah.
Well, it's a good Halloween. Yeah. So then, what about the other two? Did they go trick or treating, or are they too old now?
Kaylee didn't. She went to a friend's house and they watched movies. And Madeline went, and she won't say she went trick or treating. She went to go rob neighbors of candy. So she went over to a friend's house, and they walked around more than trick or treated. So
yeah, okay, yeah, okay. Well, that's good.
Madeline, though, she wasn't planning on doing anything, and her friends got her to at the last minute, so she didn't have a costume. So we went out and bought a plain white T-shirt, and she put an internet address bar that said www.22halloween.com, and then underneath it she wrote 404 costume not found.
Nice. See, there you go. That's clever.
She's like, my friends don't get it. And I'm like, well, I'm in IT. I appreciate it. She's into coding, so she thought it was hilarious.
Yeah. No, adults will get it. Yeah, they totally get it. You know. So on our end, we have every year there's the tradition of there's the trunk or treat. Which, did you guys do any trunk or treats or just no?
Our church used to do one. They didn't do it this year. They did a fall festival and just had little games for kids to play instead of trunks. Yeah, which I preferred because I didn't have to do a trunk then.
I know, right? Well, yeah. Then that's the tradition at school. So you do the trunk or treat.
Yeah.
Either the day or a couple days before Halloween. So we have that, and so I dress up as Michael Myers. Well, I did last year and I did it again this year because then they're like, "Oh, that's the dad that dressed up as Michael Myers." But each year there's kids that had never seen me like that, and they're little kids, and so they get freaked out because I stay in character pretty well. I don't talk to anybody. The only people I talk to are my kids, or Jen, and that's it. Otherwise, when kids like ask me questions or something like that, I don't say a single word, and I just kind of walk around the parking lot.
Yeah.
And this year, I swear to God, I had a gaggle of kids. I'm telling you. Maybe it was every kid at the school was just starting to like gang up and go, is he the real one? Blah, blah, blah. Is this real? Oh my God. They're freaking. It's just like, oh my God. And Kathy was there with us too, because her kid goes to school there too. She's like, you might need to leave because this is causing an instance. There's something going on here. And so I was like, okay, yeah, and I kind of just walked, and by dispersing that, and I kind of got kids to get disinterested somehow and just kind of do that. And then of course my littlest one's like, you're gonna be Michael Myers every year. This is amazing. And I was like, oh God, no, there are too many kids.
So fun fact about that mask.
Mm-hmm.
That was a William Shatner mask that they cut the eyes open and combed out the hair and painted white.
Yep.
I found that hilarious.
Yeah, I know, right? It's and I didn't. There's really cheap ones. I went with a really nicer one, but the more classic version versus the updated version that's kind of charred and burnt. So I went for the old school 1970s version. So, yeah. No, it's fun. It's fun, and you just kind of walk around slow and you look at kids, and when they stare at you. But the it's the littlest ones that are the most fun because they're unsure whether to be scared or interested.
Yeah.
So they'll just stare at you for a long time. And then the moms or dads are like, well, just go up and say hi to them. And then they're like, But those parents like torture these poor kids to go up to something that's scary to them.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what are your parents doing? And one of them was like, can you hold my baby and take a picture? I was like, what? I didn't say it, but I was like, okay. I shrugged my shoulders and I picked up the baby. It's like, okay.
I like to scar my kids, so.
Sure. And so, yeah, that was fun. And then I do the same thing on Halloween night. I put the costume on. I go into character. I don't say anything. So when kids come up to trick or treat, they're very unsure. They're very cautious.
Yeah.
And people are they're like, you just have too much fun with this scaring these little kids out here. I was like, it's very fun for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Yeah. It's a good time. And the kids had a great time. We walked further than we've ever walked before because all the kids are a little bit older now.
Yeah.
The boy, he didn't trick or treat. He says he's too old for that now. But the other two did. And we got further than we ever did. They came home with us the haul, dude. It's just too much. That should last till next Halloween.
So we went a subdivision over because it's a little bit nicer houses than ours. Will got 10 full-size candy bars.
10, yeah. See, some people are getting full candy bars in our neighborhood, too, that we go to. They came home with, between the two of them, 6 or 7 of them, I think. I was like, oh, my God, dude, that's a lot.
So if we drive down a little bit further from us, there's an even nicer neighborhood where every house gives out regular size.
Oh, wow.
That was one of the first things one of our neighbors told us, because he drives his kids over there every year just so they can get the full-size candy bars.
I guess inflation doesn't impact these people, is what we're saying.
No, not much.
They're doing okay. They don't have to worry about they can afford the big candy bar, so okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I got to worry about filling up gas tanks and buying groceries every week. But okay, cool. You guys get the full-size candy bars.
I'll bring my kids over to get them, so.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Right. Yep. So, all right. So what do we have on the docket?
Well, I got a few MCU things.
Okay.
Did you hear what's his name? Sacha Baron Cohen is up for Mephisto.
I have not heard that. No.
I don't know where he's going to show up, but his name has been circling that for quite a while now.
That's a Spider-Man big deal that they're going to go down that route.
Yeah.
Go or one more day or whatever they're going to. I'd be shocked if they go with that storyline, or maybe they'll like they always do, where they pick from different stories and kind of try to mesh them all together. That'd be interesting, I guess.
Yeah, he's someone too that could show up in the Agatha Harkness series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I saw a blip about some kids, the Wiccan, in there.
They've already. I haven't seen anything about that, but they've already established that Wiccan is a character.
Yeah, so I'm trying to remember where I saw it.
Are they gonna bring back the kids and age them up then a little bit so they're teenagers?
His name's Joe Locke. Joe Locke is going to be in the Agatha Coven of Chaos.
Yeah,
he's Wiccan is who he's going to play. I don't even know who. I'm guessing it's the same kid, but maybe just grown up now.
I guess so. I don't know.
I don't know who Joe Locke is. So
I don't either. I'd seen his name. I didn't know that's who he was playing.
Yeah, because I'm looking at this kid. He doesn't look the same as the kid that was in the
in WandaVision,
in the series, in the
Doctor
WandaVision
Strange.
series.
Yeah.
But mind you, this kid's way older, so they've aged him up.
Yeah, and I think they're going with their fourth Cassie Lang now. So
yeah. Is it the fourth Cassie Lang?
Yeah, because it was a little girl in the first Ant-Man.
Yeah,
I think
true.
she was an older actress in the second.
It's not the same girl that they put in Endgame, is it?
No.
Well, hold
It's
on.
Catherine Newton is the new one, I believe.
Yeah, okay, I'm seeing her now.
Yeah.
She's been in things.
Yeah.
Why did they just keep the same one?
I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I understand why they didn't use the smallest one,
Right.
Because she probably isn't old enough yet. But she's gonna be. She's not. She's gonna be. What's her? She's gonna get a different superhero name. She's not gonna be Wasp. She's gonna be something else.
She was Stature, I think.
Stature. There you go. Yeah. That's what. They're going Young Avengers, right? We're gonna have Wiccan. We're gonna have her. Kate Bishop's already been around.
Patriot's been introduced in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah. There you go.
I think they'd have to at some point because all these characters are showing up. If they're not going to do Young Avengers, they might do some kind of Young Avenger champion mixture since they have Kamala.
Yeah, because that's what I'm pulling up now, just trying to see what comes up when you put it in a Young Avengers. So here we go. Kate Bishop, Cassie Lang, who's going to be Stature, Elijah Bradley as Patriot, Tommy and Billy, Tommy and Billy, I guess. What do you Wanda Maximoff? I guess that's the name that they'll use. It's blocked on here, so I can't get into it. Yeah, but I guess we're gonna go that route, right? And then
if you go the later version that Kieran Gillian did, it had whatever the Marvel boy was, and it had America Chavez, and it had Kid Loki. So it introduced even more characters. So, but if
who would be Hulkling? We don't have a Hulkling or anything like that, right?
No, but we have Secret Invasion coming up.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe that's what I think that's the route we're going. And if it's not going to get a movie, I bet you they'll get a Disney Plus show, right?
I would think so. I mean, I've been saying that for a while though, and they really haven't announced anything. They've announced so much other stuff since then.
Okay.
So
because it's funny you bring up well, as far as rumors go, did you also hear the Tom Holland fourth Spider-Man rumor or fourth Spider-Man movie rumor? Have you heard this one?
I saw something about it.
It's Tom Holland's going to turn into Venom. Okay, because we saw the symbiote, little piece of symbiote in the last one. In the cutscene. Yep. And then who is his love interest is supposedly supposed to be Kate Bishop. Is who they're rumoring it to be. Which that harkens back to which version? That's really goes back to Miles. Yeah. I think Miles and Kate had a relationship in the older version of the Ultimate Spider-Man with Miles in it. Yeah. But they're just replacing Miles with Peter.
Peter, yeah.
But in that version, Kate's family was Hydra. Okay. So I don't know if they'd go that. I doubt they go that route with Kate Bishop, but that's what it was in the book. Yeah. And then Matthew McConaughey being cast as Norman Osborn.
Ooh, I'd like that.
And then basically he's taking over all of Stark Industries. Yeah. And then he finds out that Peter is Spider-Man, and basically just manipulates Peter being like, hey, Iron Man, it was Stark Tech that made you because it was a Stark spider that bit you. That's why he knew about you. He didn't really care about you as a person. He only cared about you as a product or a weapon. Yeah. And just dealing with the fact that no one knows who he is anymore. He's isolated. He feels alone. And so he really leans into the whole Venom thing. So I was like, interesting.
That is very interesting. That'd be a fresh take on it.
I'm right there with you. I love the idea of McConaughey coming in the MCU as Norman Osborn. I think that's fantastic. So I don't know what if you'd give him a superhero. I don't know who you'd put him in as there, but seeing him, I could easily see him as a villain. I don't think he'd come back for repeat performances. I mean, he would, but when you're the villain, you're not coming back as often, I guess. Right. So,
although someone like Norman Osborn's around all the time.
Yeah. But maybe not. He just doesn't have to put in as big a performance. He's just here and there, But I like that casting. I like that idea, and the story sounds intriguing. I don't think it's going to happen. No. But at least it's fun. It's fun to think about that. So yeah, no, I thought that was an interesting rumor.
All right, and another rumor is Bob Odenkirk is being cast in the Wonder Man series.
I had not heard that. Okay.
I saw that today for the first time. I don't know who, but they said it's someone of prominence in the MCU.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, he's amazing. He's a really great actor. I love Better Call Saul. So
yeah.
I'm okay. And did you ever watch Nobody?
I haven't yet. I really want to.
Jay,
I know.
Bump it up the list. Oh my God. You gotta read that or not read it, watch it. It's really, really good. And if you see him in that, you could totally see him in an MCU role of some kind.
Yeah.
Not sure really they would go with him, but I could definitely see him in a role of some kind.
As twisted as my family is, that's a family movie.
It's a good one though. I like it. Trying to think what else I heard. Something about Galactus. I think that basically saying that people keep thinking Galactus is coming sooner than he is, and no, the plan is that's not. He's definitely not going to be in the Fantastic Four movie, is what I think I read somewhere.
I would like them to wait a little bit before they get to him.
Yeah, and also, what was it? That Doom is not going to be the main villain in Fantastic Four. I think, or did we talk about that last time?
No, but I'm hearing I don't know how reliable it is. It's like some of those Reddit things where people just kind of make it up, but possibility of Doom being maybe a post-credit scene in Black Panther.
That's what I read that as well. Yep, I heard that. Read it. I read it all on Reddit. Yeah. So, no, that's interesting. And I don't know who I've heard as far as casting goes for Doom.
Yeah, because that initial Disney Plus Day rumor got shot down.
Okay, because you can't mess up with Doom.
No,
you just can't. You just can't screw that up. You're gonna have to find the right person, and they just haven't. In the 2 iterations we've gotten, I don't think I've enjoyed the Doom castings in either one. To be honest,
no, I haven't either. And
I don't even know if I'm liking the Submariner casting just yet. So I don't know.
I'm optimistic for it. I mean, I haven't seen him in anything, but just from what I've seen, I think I'll be happy.
Yeah. So the kids are already asking about, because they're starting to see the commercials on YouTube and stuff like that, and they're gonna go, we're gonna go see it. I was like, yeah, we gotta wait for it to come out because it's soon, right? Towards the end of the month.
A week from tomorrow.
A week from tomorrow. Oh, it's the middle of the month. I thought it was later in the month. Okay.
Nope. The 11th.
The 11th. Okay. But yeah, we still haven't seen Black Adam yet, so I'm like, do we just not see Black Adam and just wait for Black Panther, or do we try to go see both? I don't know. We haven't decided yet.
We did see Black Adam, and it.
Okay, so give me your non-spoiler review.
It was okay.
Just okay.
Yeah, like is it a setup piece to where we're gonna get a relaunch of the DCEU? I
I
think they could do it. It was a movie.
Okay.
It's kind of it would be in line with the Phase 4 Marvel stuff that's come out.
Okay.
Where
it just felt like they tried to push too many characters. They tried to squash it all and mesh it just so much and pack it in with so many characters.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the characters they did.
Okay.
But you don't get a lot of backstory.
Okay. Which maybe you don't need it because he's the villain, I guess. I mean, we don't.
Well, no, you get plenty of his backstory. It's the other characters.
Oh, the other characters, gotcha. Because what they say, this is just basically a JSA prequel or something like that. Maybe they're doing JSA movies in the works or something.
I mean, they call them the Justice Society right off the bat.
Okay.
So
they do. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
But it's like it's an established thing that you didn't know was established.
Gotcha. Any good Easter eggs?
There's a post-credit scene, but it's kind of already been leaked by the guy that showed up. Yeah. So I was surprised because Amanda Waller is in it.
Okay.
And so at the end, it's basically her saying, "Look, if you're going to be a problem, I've got people that can handle you." And then there's Cavill standing there with him, and he's like, "We need to talk." So, sorry to spoil that for you, but we knew it was happening. So.
No, it's not a spoiler. That's not a spoiler at all. Everyone, it's been all over the place. No, that's not a secret by any means. So, you knew I'd like that part. I'm definitely ready for Cavill to come on back.
Oh, I am too.
Take advantage because he's done with The Witcher. I think he said after season
After
3
season 2, I
is his
believe.
last one.
Oh, is it 3?
He's already done.
I think he's done with what
over.
they filmed. Oh yeah, 2 has filmed, hasn't it?
So
it's already been released. Yeah, I never went back and watched it.
I thought season 3 would be his last one, and
Maybe
then when season 4 comes out, that's when Hemsworth takes over.
Yeah, if they
I didn't
do
watch
it.
season 2.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Yeah, I'm not into it. It's just not my thing. But I'm excited. I'm ready for him to come on back. Put on the cape. I think we're going to get a recast of Lois. I think we'll get a recast of Lois. I think you'll finally get a Jimmy Olsen in there. Not a Jenny Olsen. We'll get a Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah.
And not one that was killed right away. I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know if we're going to go and say that we're going to multiple Earths, because that's, you know how big that is.
Well, they
can say that.
They've kind of already done that, though, because the Batman is Earth 2, and
see,
all these different ones.
That's where they're gonna. Maybe. Well, that's what I'm wondering. Maybe when they'll do James Gunn version of everything. Well, it won't be. He won't be. I doubt he'll be directing Superman. But
no.
Okay, let's do that. Let's fan cast, or not even fan cast. I'm not gonna try to cast anybody in the roles because that's just too much. But just your director of choice. Who would you like to see take the helm?
God, I have no clue. And the reason I say that is Marvel's done a really good job of just finding some obscure people to take over their movies, like James Gunn doing a Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
Before that, that wouldn't have been somebody you would have picked. So
I could see this just because of their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
David Yarovsky, he was the director of Brightburn.
Okay.
And he has that relationship with James Gunn, just because James Gunn was a writer, producer on it. But that's if he wants to do a Superman thing again.
Right.
That's, what Brightburn was. But at least, some exposure to it, doing a dark superhero thing. And James Gunn says he actually likes the tone that Snyder developed, which can we rule that Snyder's out completely?
I think so.
Okay.
Because I don't know. I really think he's out. I think they're going to want to... I think they will lighten the tone up of the movies to be more along the line of Shazam, Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Gunn knows where the dark tone is needed. And so maybe with Superman, the first one was kind of dark and grimy, but that kind of set up how Superman looks at the world. Because the big thing I took from it was, Metropolis got destroyed in that battle, and a lot of people got killed. And that I could see that weighing on the character, and that's the reason he won't kill anybody, is because he was forced in this situation. There was all the collateral damage. He knows he can be better.
Okay. Well, all right. Here. I pulled something up, and I'm gonna give you some names. Tell me if you're familiar with it. J.D. Dillard.
No clue.
He did an indie project called Slight. I've heard of that. I've heard that name, but I'm trying to remember what that was. It's something I've heard of, though, and he's done some stuff on. I guess he's doing the new Twilight Zone that
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele is part of. I think he's doing some of that, but he's associated, or he started off with Bad Robot with J.J. Abrams. So I'm like, well, J.J. Abrams has kind of been cut off from DC, so I don't know if that's going to happen. Rick Fumayawa, however you want to pronounce it.
Yeah.
He was the one that's supposed to do The Flash.
Right.
I guess did that not? Is he still? He's not still tied to that. Who took over for The Flash? Wasn't it the director of it?
I don't know. I don't remember. Here.
Of The Flash. I thought that was who did it. Yeah, Muschietti. Muschietti is doing The Flash. But Fumayawa was supposed to do it originally, but he's been working on Mandalorian. I was like, ooh, that's okay. That's a plus. This one's a little, maybe we're a little too late, and he's already done too many superhero things. But Matthew Vaughn, that's a safe pick, I think. I think so too. That's really safe, I think. And we already know his tone.
He's done some good. He's done some bad. So,
yeah. Michael Chavez, who has worked on the Conjuring movies. He's kind of in the realm of the James Wan, Andy Muschietti, David Sandberg. They're all horror directors. So I'm like, I don't think you want to go with Man of Steel being a horror themed thing.
No.
So I don't know if that's Denis Erguvin. She was one of the finalists to direct Black Widow.
Okay.
But did not. I guess she's kind of part of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I guess maybe she worked on that with James Gunn. There's a James Gunn connection there. With her. That's kind of why that's said. Michelle McLaren, she was up to direct Wonder Woman, but didn't happen. But she was a big-time director on Breaking Bad.
Okay.
She directed many episodes of that. Last and not least on this list I have here is Paul King. Paul King worked on the Paddington films.
Okay.
And he is currently in post-production on Wonka. I don't know if Wonka is a prequel, sequel, TV series of part of the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory thing. I don't know what that's all about, but he's working on that.
Prequel with Timothy Chalamet as Willy Wonka.
Okay. So a young
yes.
Willy Wonka is what he's going to be on.
Yeah.
Okay. Just what we needed, more Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
But his Paddington stuff, so he can do the lighthearted stuff. We know that. So that kind of fits with man. If you want to go that route with it. So those are some options, I guess. Matthew Vaughn was a name I was gonna, just because he's always been connected with it for a while now.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything something like out of left field. I like the Rick, if I can ever pronounce his name, Rick Famuyiwa.
Yeah.
If that's how you pronounce it. That intrigues me just because of his work on Mandalorian. I love that.
Yeah, he's done some decent movies too.
So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm intrigued, and I guess I'd be okay with any of them. It's as long as we get a Superman movie at some point.
Yeah.
My problem is I think we're not going to get one until probably 2025 at this point.
Probably maybe late 24, but
yeah,
it's gonna be a while. All right.
Will we see the Batman sequel before we see another Superman?
I bet we will.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. I'm pulling up Rick F's directorial stuff. So yeah, Mandalorian, The Chi. Don't know what that is.
Che Guevara. I think it's about Che Guevara.
No, it's CHI.
Oh, CHI. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I don't know that.
Confirmation. It was a TV movie. He directed Dope.
Dope. Yeah, that was a good movie.
That was a good movie. Our Family Wedding, Brown Sugar, The Woods. The Wood is what he got famous for.
Okay. I don't know that one.
There was about a wedding, I think, with crap. What's the guy's name that plays? He's going to Remember the Titans and The Wire.
The Wire?
I think so.
Okay. Whatever that. So, dude from The Wire.
Omar Epps is in it. Tay Diggs is in it. Omar Epps.
That's not. Okay.
I'm trying to look and see if the one guy is. I don't see him though. I might be wrong then.
Okay. So the big two, they're busy. They're definitely busy right now. Putting out good stuff.
Yeah. So and then we didn't even talk about the trailers that came out.
Yeah. What Ant-Man? Which that was a lot in Ant-Man.
We get a glimpse at Bill Murray, which people are trying to get him cut from the movie.
Why is he getting canceled?
Inappropriate set behavior. He got kicked off the set of whatever the last movie was he was working on and got replaced.
Really?
Yeah.
Getting to be he's an ornery old man that doesn't have the patience for crap.
Well, and
that's what it sounds like.
He's always been kind of difficult to work with just because he's such a strong personality and he's set in his ways. He's one of those guys you probably wouldn't be able to get to change at this point.
Correct, yeah. Which, did you ever get around to watching his St. Vincent movie?
I've seen like the first half of it. I need to go finish it.
Yeah, go finish that. I love that movie. He was great in that.
Yeah. So then, they showed a lot. You got an awesome shot at Kang.
Yeah, you did. I'm interested because Kang's going to be the big bad. I mean, going forward, right? So it'll be interesting. When is this one? When does that come out again? Is that February?
I think it's February.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
The only thing we didn't get was a shot of MODOK.
Yeah, no, we didn't. Which is it? Jim Carrey? Is that, or is that still just rumor?
It's still rumor. I actually heard Corey Stroll, when his Yellow Jacket gets shrunk down into the quantum verse or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he might have gotten mutated.
Oh, and then he'd be MODOK. Okay, that's interesting. I like that. That's a cool callback.
Yeah. And then the other trailer we got was the Guardians Christmas special.
Which that one was, if I remember that correctly, it's just basically they go back to Earth because they say that Quill's so sad about the Gamora stuff.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to cheer him up, kind of thing. And I don't remember what happened from there.
It was Drax and Mantis going to get Kevin Bacon to make him happy.
That's right. Oh, that's right. Yes. Okay. No, that's great. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's gonna be great. That's gonna be so funny. Dude.
It is. And
I can't believe they got Kevin Bacon to agree to it. That's hilarious.
Oh, Kevin Bacon loved the fact that he was mentioned as Earth's hero. Like, I think if I remember what I read correctly, they told him he was mentioned in the movie, and then when he left it, he was just in awe of what they did.
Nice. That's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah. So I think he was very willing to do it.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's gonna be really good.
Yeah.
That's gonna be really, really good.
Yeah, and it's gonna set up the movie, I think, from what I've heard.
Yeah. And I want to go off on a really random tangent, just real quick.
Yeah.
Did you see that there's gonna be a Christmas Story sequel?
I did. I didn't watch the trailer for it though.
Just can they not come up with anything original? Honestly, because they did last Christmas. They did. Remember they had the Nintendo one with Doogie Howser in it.
Yeah.
Why can they not find more stuff like that? Dude, that was great. That was just fine. It was original. We didn't have to go back to stuff we've already seen 1,000 times. Just do something new.
Yep.
Yeah, whatever.
No, I agree.
Sorry. Okay. Back to MCU.
No. I think it's pretty much just going to be Drax and Mantis. So we'll get little bits of everybody else.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I'm excited for it. It'll be fun. I like these specials that they're doing because I think we're going to get more specials. Although I didn't read the article because, again, we spoke briefly about Werewolf by Night last time.
Yeah.
There was an article that came out. I was hoping that maybe you read it or you heard something about it in regards to how they connect Werewolf by Night to Blade. How do they connect the two?
I don't know.
Other than the Midnight Suns thing.
I don't know. I haven't seen anything about that yet.
Okay. All right. Well, I was just curious if you did because anything Blade related I'm interested in that. So, yeah, and then I heard there's going to be a Vision. I don't know if it's a series or a special or something like that. That's coming out.
Yeah, I don't know. They've said he's going to be back though.
Okay. So,
but I think he's supposed to show up in Armor Wars as well.
Okay.
So yeah,
but that's no longer a series. That's a movie now, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, as long as they give me Justin Hammer.
And I'm also hearing rumors that they're already trying to set something up to where they bring back Iron Man.
Yeah, I've heard rumors that Robert Downey Jr. wants to come back, but it was about a year ago we heard that Chris Evans was going to come back for Captain America. So,
is it a money thing? Is it a pride thing that they're just like, these are my characters, or is it just a thing where they go, it really was enjoyable to work and they enjoy the characters that much and it's such a good environment. Why would you not want to keep doing it kind of thing?
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
I think a little bit of all of it. Like, I know for a fact that
money anymore. They've made so much money.
I know.
Especially for Downey. He really, he made like how much money to be in, what was it? Far From Home or not? I guess it was it Far From Home or no?
The first one.
He was in like the movie for like 9 minutes or something like that, but maybe 50 million or something like that.
Yeah,
like, dude, come on, you don't need it. You're good. You're set.
He's got to make up for Dr. Dolittle though.
Did he put his own money into that?
I don't know. They might have asked him to after the fact.
Right. Oh man. So.
Yeah, I've heard rumors too that they could set up the X-Men with one shots.
Oh, really? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, do backstories for individual characters. I don't know if I like
that. I don't know if I like that at all.
I might be okay with that. That way, when they get together, you don't have the big origin story. I've liked how Marvel has kind of gone away from that. And this is a 1 hour background of how Cyclops discovers he can shoot laser out of his eyes would be interesting, I think.
Okay. Yeah, well, it's we're never lacking for rumors, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yep. So I think at this point we should hold off on the documentary thing. We could talk about best documentaries next time. We could just go through homework.
We could do that. Yeah.
Right.
Dude, I got a list of documentaries like a mile long right here, dude.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah.
I do too.
It's okay. We can do whatever you want. I don't care. We can hold off. Yeah, we kind of went long with just kind of getting caught up on stuff. So.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, no. What do you? I'm trying to think here. What do I have for homework?
Oh, here. I'll start with this one. So we watched Bullet Train.
Oh yeah. You told me about it.
Oh,
you said you liked it.
God, it was so much fun.
Okay, good.
But it was so over the top with the killings and stuff. Aaron's like, I can't believe we're watching this with our kids. And Madeline goes, I would be so mad if you watched this without me.
Yeah.
So
so good. Is it a mystery? Is it just a action adventure? Kind of a comedy? All of the above?
All of the above.
Okay.
So basically, Brad Pitt is this kind of like hired gun guy who's coming off a bad job and kind of wants to reform. He won't take a gun with him, but he fills in for another hitman, mercenary type guy, and just everything that can go wrong. He's like, I guess he's working with a therapist to try to find the bright side. He thinks he has the worst luck in the world. But as you see in the movie, he's got really good luck. It's just bad luck for everyone around him.
Okay.
And
well, what was this on?
we rented it on Amazon Prime.
Oh, you rented it. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So I mean, it's out in Redbox and stuff, but
Okay.
we were being lazy, so we paid like $6 to get it instead of going and get it for $2.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay.
So, an amazing cast. People just kept popping up. So, highly recommend it. I'm kind of disappointed we didn't see it in the theater.
Dude, I still have not watched Jeff Lives at Home that you told me to watch. I still need to get around to watching that. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah.
But what else did you watch?
We watched Chef by Jon Favreau.
Oh, you finally got around to watching that, eh?
Yes.
How good is that movie?
That was really good. I loved it.
Yeah, it's I need to revisit it. It's been a long time, but I know it's him and Leguizamo, if I remember.
Yep, Leguizamo was awesome. Watching the father-son relationship was really cool. How he kind of repairs it. And then you'll appreciate this too, having a family member that's in the culinary industry. Like, I see this stuff and I'm like, oh, God, I hear about this firsthand.
Yeah. Yep. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chef was such a good movie. I'm glad you finally got around to watching that. That's one of those under the radar that no one, like, I guess people hear of it, but they just don't get around to watching it. But once they finally do watch it, they're like, that was really good. So,
yeah, and you actually get a decent cooking documentary series out of it with Favreau and I don't remember the chef's name that was a consultant on the film.
I don't remember. I think it was
it was a Netflix show.
Yeah, I watched a couple episodes. It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was.
I just don't remember because it was a long time ago.
Yeah. So, I watched Fighting with My Family.
That was super good, right?
It was.
So good. What's her name that played Bailey?
You mean Paige?
Paige, sorry,
Yeah.
Paige.
Yeah, Florence Pugh.
Yeah, Florence. How good was she in that movie?
I know, and you couldn't even tell.
Good.
You couldn't even tell it was Yelena. It was.
Right.
She was a totally different character.
Yep, and then Nick Frost as her dad was amazing. I thought he was really good at it too.
And Vince
Just a
Vaughn as
great
the trailer, as the trainer. Yeah.
Just a great story. I love that. That's and it's rewatchable too. It's very rewatchable.
The problem was I sat there trying to figure out like who the other wrestlers were supposed to be.
Right.
But I think they were all just generic people.
Yeah, I think they are. I think you're right.
But then she's sitting there and there's the Big Show and Sheamus at the hot dogs.
I don't remember that part.
It's right when she's getting called up to meet The Rock.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's a heartbreaking movie too for the brother. You know what I mean? I feel so bad for him because it seemed like when going down the rabbit hole, I think I watched some YouTube videos after that just to get the real, like, how accurate was this, you know, kind of. Apparently, like, he had the goods, right? Or was it an injury or something like that? I'm trying to remember what kind of kept him out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. It's sad because it was his dream for sure, but she just had it. She had the it factor.
Yeah, enough so that, I mean, she's still around even when she couldn't be wrestling for years.
Yep, for sure.
So next, I'll throw on the War with Grandpa. We were looking for a movie to watch with Will. It was Robert De Niro. Okay. He was a widower who was struggling to live on his own, so his daughter moved him into their house, and he took his grandson's room. And the grandson got upset about it, and so he went to war with the grandpa. And so it was
interesting.
They were pulling pranks on each other. He was trying to get the grandfather to get fed up and leave, and they play into the De Niro mob guy, which was kind of funny. Okay. It wasn't a great movie, but it was a good family one.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah, that sounds like one to watch with the kids.
So like when they're pulling the pranks on each other, Will's just cracking up like he's watching Home Alone.
Nice. Okay, well that's great. That's definitely one I'll have to show the kids. Then they'll like something like that.
Yeah.
For sure.
I watched Rampage.
Oh, I am a big fan of Rampage. That's a guilty pleasure of mine. Yeah, I love Rampage. I'm do.
Like, how can you turn this game about these three creatures destroying buildings into a movie? And it wasn't a great movie.
No,
but it was fun.
It was fun. I love Rampage.
It was a Michael Bay, Jerry Bruckheimer, make no sense, destroy thing movie.
Mindless entertainment.
Yes,
that's what it is. And then you got like, it's George. I love George.
Yeah.
No, I love that movie, dude.
All right, we watched Father Stew with Mark Wahlberg.
Okay, Wahlberg.
Yeah,
how was that?
That was good. It was really good. Okay. Apparently, they're re-releasing it as a PG-13 version. I'm like, outside of language, I don't really see why they would need to do that. He's a very shady character, but he wins you over with just his charisma.
Okay. But that was based on a true story, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And during the credits, they show clips of the actual Father Stew.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard mixed things about it. Some people just going to say it's meh, and some people say it's pretty good.
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I mean, it was another thing where the whole family sat down to watch it.
Okay.
So, this is where I leave you. It's a Jason Bateman dark family comedy type thing.
Tina Fey was in it, right?
Yes.
So, I like that one. That was good. That was actually really good. That one.
Their dad dies. The dad dies.
The dad? Okay, the dad dies. Okay.
And it causes the whole family to get back together for the first time in a long time.
Is Hader in it? Bill Hader in that one?
No, it was Corey Stroll was one of his brothers, and Adam Driver was the younger brother.
Okay, yeah. No, that's a good one. That's just one of those dramas that you won't ever see anymore, kind of thing.
Yeah, because there's a lot of drama, but there's a lot of really dark comedy to it.
Yeah, but Bateman's in it, and Bateman's awesome. So.
Bateman is awesome.
No, good. That's a really good movie. I like that one. Yeah.
Yeah. If you've lost a parent, it really hits home, like the ending of it.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Interesting. That's a good take. Okay, that's something to kind of keep in mind. I think that's kind of that can be rewatched kind of thing. It needs to be revisited.
I think so. So after I watched that, I turned around and watched Garden State again.
Oh wow! I have not watched that more than once, but I remember liking it because it's Portman and the guy from the hospital comedy. What was it?
Scrubs. Zach Braff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Zach Braff. Okay.
So it was an independent comedy that he wrote and directed.
Yeah, and I think people crapped on it a lot just because they're kind of like hating on him, but I think it's a really good movie.
It was like the big indie film that year. That was 2004, I think.
And isn't he just basically a curmudgeon or something like that, if I remember? Or
yeah, he's had some diagnosed mental health issues from his father. He was responsible for his mother being in a wheelchair, and he just struggled to process it all. And then he meets Natalie Portman, who's she's this quirky girl with epilepsy that they just go on this weekend adventure, and it's dark at times, but it's kind of an uplifting story. It's the first time I've watched it probably in 10 years. I watched it a few times when it first came out. It holds up though. It's good.
Okay.
So, and the soundtrack is amazing.
Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah, good soundtrack.
Yeah.
It didn't come out in the 90s, but I remember. Why am I thinking 90s kind of soundtrack?
I don't know. It had a lot of independent rock from the time. So that was what got the Shins noticed.
Okay.
Trying to think. I can't drawing a blank on the other. There are a couple other really big songs that came off it, but I can't think what they are off the top of my head. But I have the sound. I think I still have the soundtrack. I used to have it. And then just a couple things that were just all right. Inside Llewellyn Davis. It was okay.
You got around to it.
I did.
Man, you've been busy. You had a busy week.
This has been the last 3 or 4 weeks. So.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. So how amazing is that soundtrack from that?
The soundtrack is amazing. Movie is just okay.
Yeah, I told you that. The movie's it's nothing. The movie's nothing special with that soundtrack. I love that soundtrack. So good.
Oscar Isaac was really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then I watched the GameStop Rise of the Player documentary.
I wanted to watch that, but there's a guy in it that bothered me too much in the trailer, and I did not like that guy.
Yeah.
He was a little too over the top for me, and I couldn't handle it.
Yeah, it was just okay. I thought it was interesting how they kept comparing GameStop to Blockbuster.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and they did the same thing with AMC theaters too.
Yeah,
they did the same thing. Yeah,
yeah. And then the last one I got on here that wasn't homework was a movie called How It Ends. It's about a woman on the last day of the earth traveling around. She wants to go to this party, but she's accompanied by her younger self, like a personification of her younger self as she works through issues as everything's about to end. I wouldn't recommend it. Okay,
because it has an interesting premise.
It does.
How you described it.
It does, and it was supposed to be a dark comedy, and I didn't enjoy it.
Okay, it sounds interesting, but
yeah.
Okay, all right.
So
man, you were busy. I wrote down War with Grandpa, Father Stew, and Bullet Train from all the ones that because everything there's a lot there that overlaps with stuff I've already seen.
Yeah,
but those would be the ones that I would try to check out. So I'm excited about Bullet Train. That sounds really good.
Yeah, it was really good. Probably the best one of what I watched. So then I watched a few homework things you gave me. Sins of Our Mother.
Sins of Our Mother. That was the documentary.
That was the documentary.
That was that Netflix. That was some crazy shit. She was that was the Mormon or what? She wasn't Mormon. She was but super. She got super into the church.
Latter-day Saints.
Yeah, Jehovah's Witness. That's right.
Yeah, and
I was messed up, right?
And the guy from the church convinced her to do all the stuff.
Well, he was like a L. Ron Hubbard guy that made up his own religion.
Yeah.
How crazy was that story? That was insane.
Unreal, because she has the older son that's like, where are you?
Completely normal.
Where are my brother and sister? What's going on? Yeah. I don't know any of this.
Yeah.
And then all the rankings. Woman,
a beautiful woman that was with a guy that seemed to take care of her really well. I mean, they were set for life. It seemed like he made great money.
Who she apparently killed.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Well, or had killed by her brother.
Yeah.
Messed up story, right?
Very messed up.
It wasn't. It's not like it was good. It was just I needed you to see how messed up of a story that was. So these are those things where I pay attention to the news. I try. I don't watch the news religiously, but I use YouTube to try to keep up with the news as I can. I don't hear this stuff at all.
No,
these crazy stories.
No, and when the ex-husband got killed, she called his kids and be like, "Oh, your dad's dead, but I got to talk to you about it later."
Yeah, I know. I know, right? What? Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. It's not so far-fetched because my dad just texted me tonight, and told me that my uncle that lives out in Washington State,
Yeah.
he goes, "Oh, hey, just want to let you guys know your uncle had a heart attack, but he's okay." It's almost Friday.
Well,
Tomorrow's Friday. It's been almost a week. He says, "Oh, by the way, he had a heart attack." I was like, "Wait, what?"
I think I chalk some of that up to, though, that generation.
I guess. I don't know. But that's a big deal. Like, oh, you almost just died from a heart attack. It's not like having a heart attack's not a big deal, you know?
I mean, my dad probably would have been the same way.
I guess. Okay.
About everyone but Uncle Tom, probably.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. It's just, I just like, oh, what do you call, oh, hey, by the way, yeah, your dad's in. I'll call you later. Wait, what?
Yeah.
No. Oh, my God. Crazy story. She went totally crazy. She was,
yeah.
And the thing that was really crazy was she got her brother in on it, and then like her, I guess her best friend or something like that. Was it's just,
she's like, tell them I was with you. She's like,
yeah.
But you weren't. Where are your kids?
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, just craziness.
Yeah.
It just boggles my mind how people can get sucked in to people that are manipulative like that.
Yeah.
That use religion and stuff like that to manipulate. It's just crazy to me. I just don't understand how that happens. Oh, yeah. It's insane.
So then you also recommended The Redeem Team, which I watched.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we go over our documentary.
Yeah.
Dude.
And so
I love it.
It was
how
good.
About the? I'll give you a tease with the fact that movie gave me a different perspective of Kobe that I did not have before. How about that?
I won a Kobe Bryant Last Dance.
Yes and no. I'm conflicted with Kobe. I'm conflicted with Kobe because we seem to forget. And again, he's human. He's human, and we all work to fix our mistakes. Now, whether or not the allegations were true with what happened in Denver, you know, or wherever it was in Colorado.
Yeah.
But just sweeping it under the rug and making it seem like, was she crying wolf? Was there some truth to it? Who knows?
Yeah.
But the fact that we kind of just forgive that part, but then again, we do that with Jordan too, where Jordan has a lot of faults as well.
Oh yeah.
So that's why this movie gave me a different respect that I lost for Kobe, where I wasn't a giant Kobe fan. But you know, because I came up in the Jordan generation,
right?
This just gives me a different perspective. That's all. So but we'll talk. Like I said, we can talk about that next time when we go over our documentaries.
So from everything I've heard about Kobe, though, he was just like the nicest guy. I read about a story. This was even years before he passed. There was a comic book shop in L.A. that was closed, and they had a knock on the door. It was like 10, 15 minutes after they closed, and it was Kobe Bryant.
Oh, wow.
And they're like, "Oh, come on in. What do you want? We'll help you." And he's like, "I just wanted to go grab a couple things for a plane ride."
Oh, okay.
And like he bought stuff. He gave some of it back to the employees to keep. Just awesome sounding story, and just because he was grateful because they let him in after they closed.
Yeah.
So
see, I never heard that story.
Yeah,
no, I never heard. Like, I knew that he was for a kid that never went to school because he went straight to the NBA from high school.
Right.
It sounded like the guy was super intelligent. Like I think he spoke a couple languages if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I guess he lived overseas because his dad played overseas or something like that. If I remember right. There just needs to be his story just needs to get told a little bit more. I think you're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, a Last Dance type of thing with Shaq and all the drama there.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could make one, and then you make it centric on him and people telling stories about him and kind of diving into his life. Yeah. But super talented. I mean, I remember he won the best documentary, or it wasn't like a short documentary or animated documentary, something. Remember his love story to basketball? Yeah. That was really, I never watched the whole thing through, but it was, from the clips I did see, super well done, drawn. Yeah, I like that a lot.
So then, because I watched that, I watched the Nolan Ryan documentary that was on Netflix too.
We'll save that. I did too. I watched it, dude. Watched it. We'll save that for next time.
And then the last thing I mentioned last week was Cabinet of Curiosities by Guillermo del Toro.
How many have you watched?
I watched the whole thing.
Okay. I watched the first one.
Yeah.
And it was okay. I don't know if I'm intrigued enough to keep going.
I liked probably the first 4, and then my appreciation for it went down for the next 4.
It dwindled. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll check. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll check out the next 3 and kind of just stop it from there because it's okay. And I love the intro. That was kind of cool.
Yeah,
and
that was very Alfred Hitchcock.
The first episode was so good all the way to the end, and the end sucked.
Yeah.
This is stupid.
Yeah.
Got really dumb right at the end. So that's why I was disappointed.
The one that intrigued me the most was the weird lady with the lotion issue. And I think that was episode 4, and then it was all downhill after that.
Oh, okay. Well, in the end, it's Guillermo del Toro, and I have a love-hate relationship with him. So we'll see. I don't know.
All right.
We'll see.
Let me interject real quick with, I opened another beer, Center Ice Brewing Cake Eater Stout.
Nice.
Stout brewed with
Mighty Duck style.
Yes.
Whatever, Cake Eater.
Stout brewed with milk, with added cacao nibs, caramel, and pecans.
Well, here's my question, Jay.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to interject with this. When I was a kid, this Cake Eater meant, what I took it for when I was watching Mighty Ducks when I was a kid was basically just calling him like a fat kid or something like that, basically, or, Cake Eater. But cake is another terminology for ass now.
Yeah.
That's another word used for ass. So is he trying to say that you eat ass? Is that what he was saying in Mighty Ducks?
I mean,
and I'm like, oh my God. And we never knew that as kids.
It's pitch black, so maybe.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
So, and to go with that, the Blues are losing 4-1 right now because they suck.
Oh, God. They suck so bad this year.
They're going to be 6 straight
blow this
losses.
team up, man.
Yep.
And then they're stuck with these 2 big contracts they just gave for the next 8 years. Whoops.
Yep.
Whoops. So, I don't know, man.
They started so strong in those first 3 games.
Yeah, I know.
So, all right. Well, I'm done with all my stuff.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, no, I watched, like I said, first episode of Cabinet Curiosity. Watched the Facing Nolan documentary, but we're saving that. Watched the Donaghy documentary, which is the ref that gambled on basketball games. So we'll save that for next week as well.
That's part of that Untold series from Netflix. Yep.
And then I didn't finish it, but I watched most of This Is the End, which it's funny, but it's not one of Rogan's best. It has Rogan Burchell. It's when they're all playing themselves, but the alien invasion or something like that. So,
well, no, it was the Rapture.
Yeah, or whatever it was. Yeah. And I'm just
I think I enjoyed the cameos more than anything in that movie.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I don't know. Just when Danny McBride shows up, he's hilarious in it. It's just it's not my favorite, but I just kind of watched it.
And
I just threw it on in the background.
Channing Tatum too.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's in there for a little bit. I like I said, I didn't watch the whole thing. I just put on. I'm about halfway through.
So I think I saw a Facebook reel with him talking about that. And he's like, I don't normally do those kind of roles, but Seth Rogen called me, and he's like, you'll be in the scene with Danny McBride. It won't be very long. You'll be there for a day. He's like, okay. I'll do it. He had a similar cameo in Bullet Train.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. All right. I'll have to keep an eye out for that one.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you watched this one. I need to go back and finish it. The Gentleman. McConaughey's in it.
I started it. It was one I had on in the background, and I'm like, this is something I really got to pay attention to.
That's the same way I was. Exactly.
Especially with the accent. Like, I don't think I could have Snatch on in the background either.
Correct. Yeah. So I'm intrigued in trying to finish that one. I just didn't get very far. I think about a quarter of the way through.
Yeah.
But good enough to want to finish it. Just haven't done it. So I don't know if I talked about this or not. Everything Must Go.
No.
With Will Ferrell. It's a Will Ferrell. It was his turn to do the whole Adam Sandler does a drama movie. Well, this was Will Ferrell's drama movie. It was actually pretty good. He actually was really good in it. I would recommend it. Nothing to brag home about. Not the greatest movie ever, but just a good drama. Interesting story. He just does a really good job in it. And then, and I'm not done with it. Excuse me, I'm not done with it yet, but man, it was so good what I have gotten through. I think I'm about halfway through the Mr. Rogers documentary. I'm about halfway through it.
It was so good.
Yeah, and the thing is, I'm not a Mr. Rogers kid. I'm sure I watched it, but I just don't think I watched as much as my sisters did.
Yeah.
And I was more of a Sesame Street kid more than anything, I guess, as far as PBS shows. But man, so good, so ahead of his time.
Yes,
so ahead of his time.
Very much so. Yeah,
and so it makes me want to. I want to go find the Tom Hanks movie where he portrays him. So,
and I have not watched that yet either, and I really want to. But what I've heard is the Tom Hanks one is not necessarily about Mr. Rogers, it's more about the guy interviewing him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, okay, I still watch it though.
Yeah, I want
this
to
documentary
too.
though. It's so dang good, dude. Oh,
and you probably haven't even gotten to the gay guy that worked on the show.
I did. Oh,
okay.
I think so. I think he is. Yeah.
Where he was married, and Mr. Rogers pulled him aside and said, "Look, you're living a separate lifestyle away from your wife. You need to really reconcile it." And he did, and like he wasn't condemned for being gay. He was condemned. Like the issue was he was lying to his wife instead of being open about who he was.
No, I've not gotten that part, so I need to. I'll need to get to that. But it's so good.
Yeah,
I love a good documentary like this. You know, can't say enough good things about it.
Yeah.
So. And then did I talk about the Scream, the new Scream movie last time? So it was Scream where they called it a requel.
Yeah.
Where it's a reboot sequel. where
you the original cast.
Yeah, you bring in your old cast members and to kind of give you the nostalgia for the new cast.
Right.
And it has the guy from The Boys, Huey. What's his dad's famous?
Quaid.
Quaid.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Jack
in
Quaid.
it. Yeah, and then Jenna Ortega's in it. And Jenna Ortega was supposed to be Supergirl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I kind of got introduced to her. And she's also in the movie X, which I don't remember if I told you about that one.
I think
That's
you
a
did.
horror movie. Yeah, it was okay. She was, it just so happened she was in this Scream movie.
Was she in
okay.
Tusk?
Say what?
Was she in Tusk?
Jenna Ortega. No, she was not.
No,
not that I'm familiar with. I think you're Genesis Rodriguez. Is
okay.
So, but it was. I mean, if you watched it, not waste of time. Just not the best. It's just I could see them continuing on with the series though. Making more of them. You know, I could definitely see that.
Scream in
a lot of good callbacks to the original. Yeah, basically a lot of good callbacks to the original though.
Yeah.
And then,
so does that mean we're going to get like a Scary Movie 6 where we get Deputy Doofy again?
I don't know. Sure, why not? Put direct to Netflix kind of thing for sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Rewatch Neighbors is such a good movie.
It is.
Neighbors.
It's a good one.
Dave Franco does not get enough credit for how awesome he is. I love Dave Franco. I think he's incredibly good.
He gets overshadowed by Adam Devine.
Dave Franco's superior to Adam Devine. I don't like Adam Devine that much, to be honest with you. I think Dave Franco's a way better comedic actor.
Did you watch the John Goodman Preacher series on HBO? I can't think of the name of it.
Yes, I know which one you're talking about. I do. Something.
Oh God, he was great in it.
Dave Franco was in it?
No, Adam Devine was.
Oh, Adam Devine was. Oh, okay. The righteous
Simpsons.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh God.
Is that worth going back to watch?
Oh yes, it's very much.
Really? Okay, so I'll have to go back and watch that. But yeah, I love Neighbors. It's great. Rogen's great. I like Rogen. I like Rogen movies. I don't care what people say.
I do too.
I think And then last thing I got is I did a rewatch of, and I don't know why I watched stuff. I should be watching new things, but I was watching things I've already watched before. Draft Day. I am a unapologetic, big, huge fan of the movie Draft Day.
Oh,
I love that movie.
I do too.
You put Kevin Costner in a sports movie, it's going to be good. It's just going to be a good movie. So
and
Ivan Reitman directed it. I can't believe Ivan Reitman directed it. That's what's so crazy about it.
I'm so in the weeds on like sport drafts though. Like I sat there and appreciated it for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm the guy that will sit there and listen to all 20 rounds of the MLB draft on the internet just because.
Okay. Yeah.
Just because I find it interesting. I watch the football draft even though I don't watch football.
Yeah, I love drafts. I don't know what it is about it. I do. And the thing is, I used to be way into the drafts. I used to watch so much college football. I watched so much college football back in the day. I just don't now. And that's the thing. That's why I'm not watching the drafts, because I don't know these stories about these kids.
Yeah.
And that's what's so intriguing about college football. It's the sport's fun, but it's the stories about the kids behind the sport that are really intriguing.
Yeah.
And then when you get to watch them, it's a chess game of who's going to pick and why, and who's dropping, why did they drop, all that stuff.
Yep.
So, yeah, no, this one was I love this movie, and plus it had Jennifer Gardner, and she looks stunning in this movie. She does. Unabashedly big Jennifer Garner fan.
Yeah.
But Costner, can we just go down and say Costner is one of the best of all time?
He's got stinkers in there, but I mean, you can say that about any actor.
True.
If you go sports movies, he's probably the best sports actor there's been.
I got a blind spot that you're going to go, it's incredible. I've never seen this. 10 Cup. I've never seen 10 Cup.
10 Cup is so good.
Really? Okay,
yeah.
So I'll need to go back and watch that. And and then here, I went down a rabbit hole on Reddit.
Okay.
I don't know how, again, Kevin Costner stuff. I don't think it was a Kevin Costner thing, but I think it was a thread about what movies do you love that everyone else hates, was basically the premise of it. And I thought that was a good topic we could probably do at one point. But, well, we've done it before, guilty pleasures, I guess, really what we would call that. But people were listing Waterworld, and they're going, that movie is actually really good. People just love shitting on it because it was popular to do at the time. So what is your thoughts on Waterworld?
I hated Waterworld. Yeah.
It's really that bad.
It was really that bad.
No,
and then he turned around and did The Postman almost right after it, and that was just as bad. One.
People were saying how good The Postman is. It's actually really, really good. And so you say otherwise. So you're saying they are too nuts.
I don't think I could devote another 6 hours to watch those again.
Was Waterworld 3 hours?
I think they were both close to 3 hours, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And they were slow, but they were the same movie, just one was on water and one was on dry land.
Really? Oh,
there was a lot of similarities to them.
Okay.
I mean, granted, I haven't watched them. I haven't watched them I haven't watched Waterworld in probably 30 years.
I mean, Waterworld 3 hours, Postman 3 hours, Dance with Wolves 3 hours, Wyatt Earp 3 hours. The dude loves a 3 hour movie, I'll tell you that.
And they're all slow movies too.
Yeah.
It's just Dances with Wolves and wow, what'd you say the other one was? Wyatt Earp. Those are okay. They have good stories still, so you can get through the slowness of them.
Oh, dude, he's so good as Wyatt Earp. I love me some Wyatt Earp. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Kevin Costner sports movies. I think he's unappreciated. Did you ever watch Mr. Brooks?
No.
Put it on the list. You're gonna have to order it from the library.
Okay.
I don't think you're gonna be able to find it anywhere. Maybe Amazon Prime. I don't remember where I watched it. But I bet you have to get it from the library. Man, Mr. Brooks, that's a great movie, dude.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yep. I'll put that out. Yeah, I'll give you homework on that.
Okay.
But other than that, that's all I got for you. I think I'm just looking over my list here real quick. Yeah, Redeem Team, we talked about that. What about Andor? Is Andor done?
It's not done yet.
Okay.
I fell
behind, and I loved it. That's the thing. I really like Andor. I just falling behind on it.
So it's one of those shows that my whole family is not watching, so it makes it harder. Because if everyone's together, it's like, well, they don't want to watch Andor. Will and I and Aaron to a degree. So we just got to find a time to sit down and watch it. We watched the first 3 episodes, and I haven't seen anything since then.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm on episode 3 or 4. Like you said, I think it finished 3. Maybe I'm on 4. I don't remember.
The first 2 or 3 came out at the same time, and then I haven't gone back to watch it.
Okay.
So
yeah, man, I'm looking forward to going back and finishing that, because that was the big question I was going to have. I'll leave you on this. Is Tales of the Jedi? I guess you haven't watched that then.
We watched the first 2 episodes.
Oh, you have watched it. Okay, so am I going to like it, or is this one of those? Is it going to be the normal Star Wars thing that's super slow and it's going to drive me nuts?
I don't know. The first episode was an Ahsoka one with her as a baby. And there were little things that were in it were okay. I think Will enjoyed it more than I did. The Dooku's on the second one.
Ooh, that's interesting.
And it really sets up his character arc for all of it. So I really like that. But I've read...
Hold on. Here's something I was going to ask you about Dooku that I always get confused about when I watch Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
his little speech he gives, it sounds like he's actually the good guy in it.
He comes off that way. And
okay, maybe I'm not the only one that thinks that.
No. Because he's exposing the issues that are there with the Jedi.
Okay.
And that's a lot of the point of the character is the Jedi are held in such high esteem, but there's so many flaws to their logic, and he points them out.
Okay. So okay, I guess I need to rewatch his little. I need to rewatch what he says, and then kind of just. But the problem is, he's the bad guy. He is the bad guy in the movie, and we know he's the Power 2 or whatever, or whatever, or not the Power 2, but
the second Sith.
Yeah, basically, and and so we know he's not supposed to be good. But man, I'm telling you, when I watch that scene, I'm like, he's basically the Thanos of the Star Wars universe, where he was right. Is the way I feel about it when I watch that speech.
He's very much the sympathetic villain.
Okay, and so I will enjoy. Maybe it'll make me enjoy his character a little bit more when I watch this and give me a better perspective of him.
Yeah, and actually, there's been a couple books that have really played into it that I've liked.
Okay, interesting. Canon books or legend?
Canon.
They're canon books.
So
okay.
one of them was of an audio drama they did.
Okay.
And it was a lot about him and Ventress.
Okay. So
it gave Ventress's current story with flashbacks to Dooku.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Well, I was going to check. I'm going to be watching. Are they 30-minute episodes? Or are they an hour or whatever?
They're shorter than that. I think they were 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. So I'll be quick to get through these. Okay.
I think they're more along the lines of I Am Groot.
Okay.
Not quite that short, but not full episodes either.
Okay. Oh, and the only other thing I can give you is that as far as my comic reading, I went back and read Night of the Monster Men, which was the Batman crossover. Yep. Didn't like it. Thought it was actually pretty bad, to be honest with you. Thumbs down from me.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah. It's just a lot of Batman brooding about Tim passing. So,
yeah, and it pulled out of all the stories they had going on at that time because I was reading all those books.
Yeah. And then this is the interesting one, though. Old Man Logan.
The series. Lemire?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, Bendis writes the first one. He writes the intro book.
Okay. Yeah, he wrote the Secret Wars book.
Warzone was the one he did. Yes. But then Lemire takes over, right?
Right. And Lemire's is set in the 616 Marvel.
Correct. He gets sent back to the wrong past is what happens.
Well, the other pasts are eliminated, and these characters are pulled into the same.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. Which was part of the Secret Wars, right?
Right.
That was the whole point of Secret Wars was to eliminate all this stuff. Basically, wasn't Secret Wars just basically getting rid of multiverse? I thought the whole point of Secret Wars was getting rid of the multiverse.
Their version of Crisis.
Yeah, exactly.
But then it ended with the Fantastic Four going off to create a new multiverse.
There you go. Oh, see that? I need it.
Yeah, Franklin Richards.
One of these days, I'm going to do a full Secret Wars every book read through. I'm going to do it. I have to. I think.
I tried when it came out. I didn't buy them all, but I was reading them all. It was before I had the app too, so it was tough because there was every book.
There's a lot going on.
Every book coming out at that time was Secret Wars.
Yeah,
because all the regular series stopped and they did all these little mini series.
I wonder if anyone ever does the math on those when they do these giant event books and crossovers. Oh. It probably would cost you over $1,000 to read the whole thing.
I did. I picked up the physical books of the actual story. I did Deadpool's Secret War, which was awesome because it wasn't set during that Secret Wars. They inserted Deadpool into the original 1985 Secret Wars.
Oh, God.
He had the symbiote on him before Spider-Man did.
Oh, God. That's awesome. Nice.
It was by Cullen Bunn. It was worth checking out. But then I picked up all of the Old Man Logan. I picked up... Oh, God, I don't even remember. There are a few that I've just picked up the first issue of and then stopped.
Yeah.
But, man, there was so much coming out with it.
But, yeah, Old Man Logan, Lemire, he just doesn't disappoint. The guy
he doesn't.
So good at what he does.
Yep.
He's so good. But so yeah, I'm getting. I also got caught up more on my Miles run.
Yeah.
Read a couple of those. I got through the point where Bendis left the book. So
yeah,
we got to see his little goodbye letter to that before he hopped on over to DC. And so I'm on trade number 3 of Old Man Logan. right now, and then I will finish that, and then I'm on to Secret Empire. I'll be reading and Secret Empire looks pretty daunting. There's a pretty big book here, so I'll see how long it takes me to get to that. And then I'll move back on over to The Flash after that.
All right. So, comic-wise, I started reading Alan Moore's Top 10. So
I've never heard of
it was a sub company of Wildstorm at the time, so I guess DC technically owns it now. But Alan Moore had his own little universe, and he had Tom Strong, and he had Promethea, and he had all these creator-owned books. And Top 10 was Gotham Central with superheroes.
Oh, okay.
So everyone in the city has superpowers, and it's about the police force that deals with everybody.
Okay.
A lot of interesting characters, very Alan Moore. Gets a little weird at times. I love it.
Yeah.
I read
not the biggest Alan Moore fan, but the way you describe it, yep, that's an Alan Moore right there. So.
I think there's only 12 issues of it, so there's 2 trades. I'm on the second trade.
Okay.
Let's see. I read Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy by Jody Houser.
Okay.
Interesting book. Kind of sets up where Poison Ivy is right now. I'm actually reading a lot of these Batman books with Madeline. Because our thing is we're picking up almost every Batman book right now.
Jeez. Okay.
Because
there's a lot of them.
Yeah. Well, that's her thing. She loves Batman, and then most of the characters with him now. So
I think she loves the Batman family.
Yeah.
Is Batman her favorite, or she just loves the family?
I think Batman's moved to her favorite.
Oh, okay.
So like we pick up Batman, we're picking up Dark Crisis, which is getting better.
Okay.
But they could have done, I think I'm through issue 5, they could have done it in 3 issues.
Oh, okay. They're having to drag it out.
Yeah.
Give some filler. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. They've done a Young Justice tie-in, the original Young Justice team with Tim and Connor and Impulse.
That's the one I forgot to talk to you about, Young Justice. Bendis' run on Young Justice. I don't know if there's been a worse comic book I've read.
That's what I've heard. I have not touched it.
Awful. It is so bad, and it makes you so disappointed because it's Tim, and it's Connor,
and Bart.
It's got Impulse in there, and he's awesome. Like Impulse is great.
Yeah,
he does write Impulse pretty well, but the story itself is just boring as sin. It's so bad.
It's so disappointing. Bendis has lost it.
Yeah, it is
because when he was at the top of his game, his books were awesome.
Yeah, they were. I agree with you wholeheartedly. But yeah, that's what I forgot. I forgot to tell you, I did pull those out because they were part of my reading order on some of my stuff I'm doing. But I skipped to it just because I was excited to read Young Justice. And I read the first 2 trades, and there's 3 trades. I just took the 3rd trade back to the library without even reading it. I didn't care. I can't do it. I just cannot. And then the second trade, I just kind of flipped through it and looked at the art more than anything. To be honest with you. So bad. And what's cool about it though was Tim's his costume was awesome in it though.
Yeah,
they kind of did a cool redesign on him. So it's sad because of what they've done with Tim and with your daughter loving Batman. Mm-hmm. Hopefully you've saved all your old Robin books for her to learn about Tim when he was amazing versus what she's getting from him now, which is how bad that is. So I enjoy about what I was reading with Tim was the story of the reluctant superhero that wants to get out of the life.
Yeah,
and go off into the sunset with the woman he loves. Right. But then knowing what they've done with the character since then, it doesn't make sense. It just I don't know who grabbed a hold of Tim and said, let's just destroy this character and make him something that doesn't 52? Make sense from what he was.
Right. He hasn't been the same since New 52.
Yeah.
I did enjoy. Well, I don't know. There were aspects of
where he's a big proponent of detective. He's amazing in it. Him and Batwoman were amazingly together.
Yes.
Watching him and Stephanie's relationship the drama there was intriguing.
Yes.
They were giving respect back to him. It seemed like I don't remember who the writer was. It was Tinian, I believe.
Yeah, it was Tinian.
He was like we kind of screwed over Tim in Teen Titans and New 52. He just was weird. The costume was weird. Teen Titans were not important. Their storylines were kind of just weird. They didn't flow very well.
Yep.
And so Tynion's like, let's get Tim back to what makes him awesome, which they made him a lieutenant in an army setting, kind of,
Yeah.
It made him super smart. His tech work was amazing. It's just...
But it was still the reluctant
someone just
hero.
didn't know who he was. It screwed him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was still the reluctant hero, though, because he had the opportunity to go to college, and he was just waiting to tell Batman at the right time. And yeah, all that was great.
Yeah.
And then later on, there were little things that I didn't like. But overall, I was happy with what they did in Detective compared to what we previously had with New 52.
Yeah. Okay. Well, like I said, I got a lot of detective books to read.
Yeah.
That's my next big run on Batman. I got, where'd it go?
So
I have Detective Volumes 3 through 9.
Yeah.
That's what I'll be doing next. Will be 3 through 9. So
I don't even think I read 9. Tynion did through 7.
Okay.
And then 8 was kind of a repeat with what they did in 1, with a new writer and a little bit different cast.
Okay. So, and I've enjoyed what they did with Clayface. I think that's pretty cool.
Yes, Clayface had a good arc.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm sorry. I just got on a soapbox about Tim because you and I both loved what Tim was at one point, and then what he is now. It's not the same.
He's got a solo book again.
I've heard it's garbage. I've heard it's really bad.
The story isn't bad. The art takes me out of it. The art feels like an old Popeye cartoon. And I told Madeline I don't know how much longer I can do it because only time art bothers me is when it takes me out of the story, and it's almost at that point. If it wasn't for the art, I would probably be a lot more happy.
Okay. Yeah, because I think it's written by what's her name? I think they have someone on there, and the biggest critiques I'm reading about it are she just doesn't know how to write comic books. She just doesn't know how to do it.
I can see that.
So I don't know. It's just frustrating because that makes so much sense in regards to the reluctance. It's like he was waiting to tell Batman, right? Yeah. It's basically like, I don't want to disappoint my father. I want to live up to his legacy. Exactly. But I also want to be my own person. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that struggle of character, it's perfect. It's so relatable to any person that picks up a comic book. It's very relatable, and he's a relatable character. And it just feels like they've turned him into a non-relatable character. Yeah. Yep. So I don't know. I'll be reading it, and then maybe I'll pick up his trade when it comes out. So yeah, or I can give you the issues if you want to read it. Yeah, I'll figure it out. But yeah. Other than that, that's all I got for you, man. Me too. All right. Well, next time we'll tease it. We'll do some sports documentaries next time. Sound good? We will. Yep. Sounds good. Until next time. See you. Thanks for listening. You can find us on our website, Nyrdcast.com. It's Nyrdcast. You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube by searching @Nyrdcast. This week's song is Don't Check Your Phone by Whitehall. Don't check your phone. Didn't get a text. Leave it alone. You'll just be upset. What you gonna do? There's no news, no sex, no text. Only boys' regrets. I'm so stuck in my own head. Always here, always here. I'm so stuck in my own
text.